Yo, another episode of Bringing the Business. As you see, we've been doing a lot of stuff. We down here in Talladega, Alabama. So I got a lot of footage over the last couple of days. So now I'm sitting out here with my dad, man. So we sitting out here at our uncle's house, out here in the country. I guess this country to us, to me. So we just want to rap a little bit about our experience down here this time, as well as over the years we've been coming down here. So again, like I say, this is my dad, Robert Cook. So I just wanted to bring him on just to say a few things and just talk about his experience with Alabama and just tell us something. So you was actually born down here.
Yeah, I was born down here, 1961, Citizens Hospital down here in Talladega, Alabama.
Okay, so y'all used to come down here every year, right?
Yeah, every year. Once we was born, my grandmother would come and get us, and especially during when we was in school, we would get out of school, and so if we got out of school June 16th, June 17th, or June 18th, we was headed to Alabama.
So how did y'all get down here?
We various ways. Sometimes we would catch the train, but more often, a few times Greyhound bus, and then most of the time, my uncles would come and get us, or relatives that was already in Chicago, they would be heading down, and we'd ride with them.
So what y'all like when y'all come down here? What would y'all do? Like, was it boring down here? What did you have to do when you got?
Not at all. We would come down. First of all, after we would get here, you down south, you're gonna have to do some chores. So we would do a lot of things in the morning time. We had to iron. First of all, wash our clothes, and then my grandmother had this wringer washing machine. So you put the stuff through the wringer, and then you would have to get the clothes off, and you would have to put the clothes on the line. And then they would.
So it wasn't no washing machine, like
it was a washing machine, but you know how you got the rinse and stuff on the machine. Now you didn't have that. The rinse was you had to put it through this rolling thing, and they would squeeze everything out. And then once you get that out, then you hang it on the line. So we would have to get our clothes in and get that done. Then we did a lot of shelling peas, shucking corn, digging in the garden and stuff like that. And then the fun stuff a lot of time was fishing. That was a big thing. My grandmother was a very big fisherman, and so she would load us up, put these sun hats on us so we wouldn't get burned by the sun, give us these poles, and we would go fishing. So that was a lot of our times spent with her.
Okay. I saw yesterday you introduced me to one of your partners that you say y'all grew up with down here, and he talked about the ball games y'all used to have down here. So it was some good ball playing down here?
Oh, yeah. This neighborhood here, they call this part where we in Talladega, this area here called McCannsville. So McCannsville was very live back then. It was a lot more houses and stuff. And on the back road right there, a lot of our friends lived. And so after they would get through doing their chores about this time of the day or maybe a little bit earlier, a lot of times we had ball games right in my grandma's yard because when you're smaller,
yards seem huge.
Yeah, they look huge, and so we would get some good games going on. Get fussed at because we stop hitting the house and stuff like that. So then, as we got a little older, we moved down here to my left here across the street to the ball field. So it wasn't no problem getting enough people to play. And so during those times, everybody could play. So we had some very competitive ball games. And baseball was real big back then. Baseball and softball. So that was real big.
Okay, so just like the kids from the neighborhood, everybody just get together and how did y'all round them up? Everybody just knew to come out around that time, or what? Or did y'all go to each other's doors? How did that work?
That's what we would do. Word of mouth, because people start looking out. They come down there, and my middle name is Anthony, so a lot of the people down here couldn't say Anthony, so they called me Anthony. So they be, Anthony, y'all gonna play ball today? And so then they'll go and ride a bike or something and go tell somebody else. One of those cell phones and landlines was scared everybody had one phone in the house. So just word of mouth, and you go and get somebody. So we'll start playing catch or something. Then all the next thing you know, you got enough people, and you start playing.
So, we come from our family down here. A lot of ball players. I know my Uncle Horace, whose house we're at right now, Uncle Skip, and all them. Uh, but I heard it started from your granddaddy, my great granddaddy. I heard he was a heck of a ball player.
Yes, sir. My granddaddy, he should have played Negro baseball, and he got invited to come and play. He was a catcher, and so, but what happened is they played on Sundays, and granddaddy didn't want to miss church on Sunday because he was a deacon and very influential. So he said they played on Sundays, and he believed that you don't do nothing on Sundays, and so he didn't play. But we was young enough to see him. Like at the church picnics and everything, Granddad was still catching. Back there, he'd get behind the plate and everything. He was moving a little slower then, uh, but still very efficient. Could run and things of that nature. Um, so we got a chance to see him play. Yeah, so Granddad was very good, and he spent a lot of hours with us in the yard, throwing the ball at us, playing catch when he would get off work, and so that's how we got started.
Hey, I heard a rumor that he had, like you say, he played catcher. I heard he had across his breastplate, "Thou shalt not steal."
Thou shalt not steal.
They say he'd throw you out from his knee.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? At that, you know what I'm saying, from that catcher position. So, and I remember me coming down here. I've been coming down here. My grandmother told me I've been coming since I was 18 months old. So, it was a time when we was literally down here every year. You know what I'm saying, for the 4th of July or some part of the summer. And, we used to have the major games where the family come down and then the rest of the town come out, because they hear that we in town, and it'd be a major game going on, man. All the ladies be over there watching and cheering and stuff like that while the fellas playing ball, man. So, man, it's some real history down here. Like, and that's why I'm glad we starting the tradition back up. One of the main reasons we come on the 4th as well is because of your birthday.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? His birthday is on the 1st, so it's around the 4th. So we come down here around that time, celebrate your birthday, celebrate the 4th, and everything like that. So I'm glad that we starting that back up, and I don't want us to lose that. A lot of our elders are passing right. away and getting older and stuff like that. So, it's on us to keep the tradition alive, and that's what I want to do.
Yeah, it's very important that we keep tradition alive. Know where you come from. Have, like I told you when I gave my little talk yesterday, respect your elders. I learned that a long time ago. You can always learn something. They got something to say, no matter 90% of it might be gibberish, but something they said, you can get something out of. My daddy always taught me, and I didn't understand it at first, but then I was able to grasp it. He said, chew the meat, throw out the bone. So whatever important or whatever applies to you, you use that. And then the stuff that don't apply to you, then you just let that go. But you can always get something from somebody, and just listen. So I'm big on tradition and having respect for our elders.
Okay, and that's something that's kind of like missing in our community nowadays. Is people respecting elders. And I know you know a whole. I'll say a little bit about that, but a whole. Y'all come on, y'all ain't in the way. I know you know a whole lot about that, being a school teacher right. in Chicago, and so it would be much different if a lot of the kids that we deal with, I say we because I'm in the system as well now, if they had some of the same upbringing that you had down here, and right. I caught the tail end of it, it'd be a whole different situation if they were brought up with the same morals and values and things like that we had. I was watching our little cousin yesterday, KJ. I asked him, man, you playing ball yet? Yes, sir. You doing so? Yes, sir. You know what I'm saying? They still, and I'm not saying they not doing the crimes and all that stuff down here as well, because it is going on, but it's still some sort of, you know what I'm saying?
Respect being taught down here. And that's, like you said, you hit on it without belaboring the point. That's the biggest thing. A lot of times now, people want to be their children friends or whatever. Everybody want to be cool, and so and what happened is you here to parent and to show them, uh, raise them up in the way they should go. And so, but we want to get away from that a lot of times, and because it is a lot of work to keep up. I hear one of the biggest things, especially in the schools, when I'm in school, and I hear people say, uh, I give him her privacy. You better check on your kids, because if you don't check on your kids, you're gonna get a surprise. And um, so that's just advice I like to give.
Okay. Hey, so before we wrap it up, what's some of your favorite treats and stuff you like to eat when you come down here? And I want you to go back in the day because I hear y'all talk about my great grandmother, your grandmother, your ice cream, stuff y'all say that y'all used to have or used to indulge in back then. So tell me some of the stuff you had back then, and then some of the stuff even today, what you still like.
Oh, well,
to
that's
do.
real easy. Because we was coming down a lot, we had to make our own ice cream. So everybody had to take a turn on the ice cream machine and make you some ice cream. My grandmother would do that because you didn't have a whole lot of fast food and stuff going down here then. So we would do the ice cream. My grandmother would make cakes, and she called it sweet bread. That just I don't know, it was cake, but it just didn't have no icing on it or nothing. So that was sweet bread. So that was a big thing. Around the corner here, we had a man, Mr. Link. He had a store, candy store, and back then they used to sell them little pinwheel penny cookies, two for $1. So I would go give me if I had a quarter, I'd go give me 50 cookies. So that was real good. Another thing, watermelon was very big down here. I remember from even a little guy. We would come down. Granddaddy have us bring the watermelons in the house. He said, "You drop it, you got to eat it where you drop it, boy." And so sometimes we might drop one on purpose so we can eat it. And so wasn't no eating a watermelon with no fork and nothing. You put your mouth in there and spit them seeds out one side. So those are some of the greatest.
Hey, speaking of that, my son had a chance to try the yellow meat watermelon for the first time yesterday. So I got pictures and stuff of him, digging in into the yellow meat watermelon.
Yes,
So.
sir. That yellow meat is a treat. I know more and more people are kind of finding out about it now, but we would come down here and that would be a big treat for us because they're a little sweeter sometimes than the red watermelons, and so everybody needs to taste that yellow meat watermelon, especially from Alabama.
For sure. Hey, I want to say thanks for coming on. But look, uh, this is the family reunion edition, so we on here talking like this. But I gotta get you. I gotta get you back. What's up, cuz? I gotta get you back on when we get back home and stuff because this is a sports podcast most of the time and stuff like that. And I know you played some ball up there in Chicago and got some some stories of guys you played against, ball playing that you did or whatever. So I definitely got to get you on the show to tell your story because that's another branch I want to branch off into. It's a lot of legends or players who played good ball in the city of Chicago and everywhere else that didn't make it college or didn't make it to the pros, but with some darn good ball players. So I know, so we're going to get you on to tell some of those, stories and situations too. But I just want to touch on this Talladega, Alabama situation. So, man, appreciate you. Love you. Happy birthday to you. Happy 4th of July and all of that good stuff.
Thanks for having me.
For sure.